Picked up my 5-year-old son from daycare yesterday. Going home, girls without a bra are passing by. So my son had a question. Dad, why do these women have boobs? Well, I explained that it is necessary to say the chest, explained what is a bra, that in the summer it is hot, etc. Question closed. It's not hard to guess that at dinner my wife asked her son, "How did you get from kindergarten?" Normally, we walked chatting with Dad. What did they talk about? About tits. Story 2. When I was in 3rd grade, I found flies in my grandfather's garage, plastic ones. But you couldn't tell the difference at first glance. He was a fisherman. I was sitting in the middle row at the first desk. I put the fly on the desk and pretended that I was extremely keen on something other than the lesson, namely the process of catching this fly. I waited until the teacher paid attention to me, swept the fly in my fist, took it out and put it in my mouth. The effect was instantaneous, and in more ways than one. The teacher threw up a short time later, me driven to the principal, parents to school, a beaten ass, a laughing grandfather. Story 3. Last year, I was earning a living at my favorite business, had a 2-room apartment in a small town. I was lucky to buy it without anyone's help, and went to university. Unfortunately, my father had a heart attack. Without thinking, I went abroad to visit him, took care of him, tried to please him. I kept everything on a small salary and never said a word to anyone. It was Daddy. He raised us, fed us, loved us. We should repay him. Mom's not interested in him. She doesn't care about him. Before New Year's Eve, my mom tearfully asked me to fly to them because the family so begged that I found the money for tickets, gifts, and a nanny for my father. I flew, and they flew abroad with my brother and sisters. I have nowhere to live and nothing to live on because the money I gave them was for groceries. Well, I found the money. I tried to check into hotels. There are no places anywhere. It's clear it's the 31st day. I had to go to my apartment. The tenant came to the situation, offered to celebrate together. It was the happiest holiday of my life. We spent all the New Year holidays together, romance, tenderness, everything. But not a hint of intimacy, a rarity. I usually only get hit on with one intention. And then I had to fly back. I started calling and texting, and it got to the point of a marriage proposal. I thought it was a joke. At the end of February, my father finally recovered, and he told me to get out of here. You're interfering with my personal life, so that on March 3rd, you were no longer here. And I have problems with my personal business. I had enough money for my father for medicine and food, well, and myself for bread and water. I tried to talk to my father. It didn't work. I begged him to wait at least until the 8th of March. I would have money, but he was adamant. I called my mother for help, asking for a loan. I can't. Holidays, March 8th. I fly to Greece. I need money myself. Get a hotel there. Find a boyfriend. Her brother and sisters simply did not answer the phone. I just complained to my New Year's beau. And the next day, he transferred me the money for the ticket and told me to fly home and not to think about anything. He met me, warmed me up, fed me, put me to bed. And then we lived somehow at ease. I was doing chores around the house. He was working. Everything was so quiet, peaceful, and prosperous. I felt so cozy and warm. On the 8th, I was officially proposed to, and I accepted without hesitation. Maybe it was stupid, but, why not? My sister found out, then my parents. They started calling me and saying unpleasant things. The reason? The groom is 36 years old, and I, underage, 19. I must be knocked up. I'm not going to change my decision about the wedding. The application has been filed, but I don't even want to see my family. Here I sit and think. I may not call them to the wedding, to sign without guests, and live happily ever after.